There's nobody here. I can't see from up here. How you guys doing tonight? You motherfuckers need to get drunk. Get drunk. Get drunk for me. Get drunk for me, kids. Oh man, I know you guys are thinking, oh no, Bruno Mars got fat. My name's Eddie Ortiz. You guys are originally from Los Angeles, but I moved to the South about 10 years ago because I'm a masochist, I guess. The thing that I didn't realize that was going to be so difficult about living in the South was being all your white friends' only black friend. Yeah, especially when you're Mexican. And the thing is, I'm not even Mexican. I'm about as Mexican as the tacos at Jack in the Box. Just as high in cholesterol and probably pot. Sorry, I got stoned outside, and then inside, and then out back, and then at home earlier. Are you guys excited to drink? Have I said anything? What are the words? I don't know what the words are. They tell you the words and stuff, but since there's shots over here, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna take a shot together. You guys ready? Before we do this, I want you to know. This is a true story, because I'm going to tell you some true stories tonight. I've been sober for 2 years. Oh, let's do it! Let's do it! I'm kidding. I talked to my therapist about it. I did. I totally did. I was like, hey, I'm doing the show. They want me to drink. She's like, don't do it. And I was like, okay. So we just did it. We just did it. Welcome to the beginning of the spiral. I just got a new therapist. Anybody here in therapy? Anybody here? Terrible parents? Yeah? Oh, my therapist did something that has never happened in my whole life. I've seen it on TV, I've seen it on like sitcoms. It never happened to me. She found a memory that I had suppressed. Have you guys ever done this? Yeah. I'm like very self-aware. I do a lot of mushrooms. Thank you. My emotional IQ is very high. I watch a lot of rom-coms as a kid. And so we're talking, and she goes, tell me something that hurts your feelings. And I was like, well, no one's ever thrown me a surprise birthday party. And she goes, oh. And then I go, but my mom, one time, she threw me a surprise exorcism? Let me tell you about it. So I grew up Catholic. Any other Catholic heads in the house? Sorry about getting touched. It's not me, it's the priests. So my mom, she never talked about religion to us. Like the only time she ever talked about religion with me is one time she came into my room like real late at night and she looked me dead in the eyes and she said, if you listen to Marilyn Manson, you'll see the devil in the mirror. And I was like, yeah, Mom, he's got some bangers, but it's not that bad. She didn't understand me, though. She didn't speak English. And so at this point, this is all we had. That's all we had. And so we go, she like takes us to church every Sunday, but never explains it to us. What I figured out is that she would drop us off at the kid place, and then she would go away into this big, scary building. Oh, I don't know if you guys know this. Catholicism in Spanish, super spooky. Really spooky, really scary. I don't know why. And so she would drop us off at the kids' bar, and then go to church, and then after a while I figured out, if I said, hey Mom, can I have some money to put in the dish? She would give me $1, and then I would take that $1, and then I would go to the 7-Eleven and have a Slurpee, because that's what my church is. You know what I mean? Now, just like any other good Catholic, I made concessions, but I also made some plans. I was like, listen, I'm gonna drink the Slurpee, but I'm gonna think about Jesus while I do it. And you know what? I turned out fine. The thing that I screwed up was that like 2 years later, my mom was like, hey, I bought you a suit. And I was like, a suit? For what? And she was like, because it's time for your first communion. And I was like, I don't know what that is. She was mad. So soon after, one day after church, they take my brother, my little sisters, and me to this other place where she had some friends. Now, I've met some of these friends before. I remember them specifically because they smelled. You know how some old people smell a little bit like they died last week? You know? These ladies smelled like death. And so we go to this lady's house, and it's not hell, it's just a regular house. And we walk into the house, And like 5 minutes after we walk into the house, a bunch of ladies surround me and my brother and my little sisters in a circle, and they started praying over our bodies. They started praying the demons out. And at first I didn't really know what was going on because I thought that I couldn't understand what they were saying because I was like, oh yeah, these ladies, they don't speak English. And they were trying real hard. But it turns out they were speaking in tongues. So they're speaking in tongues over us. And then at one point, they pull out these little jars, and I guess these little jars were full of holy water. And so they start spritzing us with holy water. And then we're holy. I don't know how holy water works. Amen. Hallelujah. And so one of the old ladies, she didn't really have that very good a grip anymore. So she like went to throw her holy water at me and just let the whole thing fly, and then it hit me in the face. And then they looked at me and I was just crying these holy tears. And they were like, the exorcism worked! The exorcism worked! And they were proud of themselves. And then we were exorcised. I don't know. I clearly don't exercise. The weirdest thing about that day, side note, the weirdest thing about that day is immediately after the exorcism, we all got together, the smelly old ladies, my siblings, the demons, and we decided what kind of pizza we wanted, and then we ordered a pizza, and the one thing that I remember so clearly was, this was the first time I had mushrooms on a pizza, and I was like, that's from hell, that's from hell. On the way home, I was curious, so I was like, Mom, what was that? And she was like, you guys are possessed. And I was like, Mom, we're not possessed. We just didn't have a dad. This is your fault. You should have wore a condom. I didn't say that. It sounds different in Spanish. That's why I didn't say that. I love my mom, though. There was a duality to my mom. Like, I remember the moment that I realized that my mom had cool friends. Do you guys' parents have any cool friends? Anybody know what weed smells like? Yeah. I can tell. You're at a comedy show at night, so. So my mom had this one cool friend, and every once in a while, because we grew up in LA, she would come over and then she would look at my mom and she would say, let's go to Vegas. And my mom, being a smart young immigrant lady, would be like, I'm gonna put my 4 kids in the back of your pickup truck and we're gonna go to Vegas. So we went to Vegas. And I remember this one specifically because you know how there are no superheroes that look like me? You know what I mean? Like the Ninja Turtles don't count. The Ninja Turtles don't count. But there's no superheroes that look like me, so I think, because of this story I'm about to tell you guys, I should be the superhero. I think they should make me the superhero. Because first of all, real sexy when I take my glasses off. That's what I'm talking about, Queen. What's that? I look really good in spandex. Trust me, it's all jiggle. And, it's nice jiggle. And one time, when I was 6, I stopped a robbery while wearing a Batman costume. True story. I'm gonna tell you this one too. We're going to Vegas. Now, has anybody here ever been to Vegas? Any Vegas-ites? Okay, so then let me ask you, do you know the one casino you would take your children to if you were going to Vegas? It is a lovely place called the Circus. If you never been to the Circus, it's a casino that has like a kids area in it where you can, at all hours of the night, you can drop your children off and you don't even have to go to the casino, you can just leave. It doesn't matter. That's where the kids get sold. And so we get there, we get dropped off, and I go immediately to the ball pit, because the ball pit's the best part, let's be honest, yeah. What are you gonna, yeah, plus we didn't have any money for the games. And we were poor, look at me, we were poor. And so I got bored, and then I was like, I'm gonna go explore, because I was a stupid kid. And so I left the ball pit, and I went out one door, and I found, well, the only way I could describe it is, do you guys know what Valhalla means? I walked into 6-year-old fat kid means heaven, the buffet. Now, at this point, I'd never been to a buffet. I'd never seen one before. I was never like, how is there a magic tray of shrimp where if I stand there and eat all of the shrimp, somebody comes and refills it with shrimp? So I did that. And then right down the way was just a soft serve machine to heaven. Yeah. I soft serve that night. It was unbelievable. Unfortunately, I also had shrimp and soft serve that night. And then went immediately back to the ball pit. I went back to the ball pit. Yeah, oh, this gets worse. This gets so much worse. So I'm in the ball pit, right? I'm knee deep, I'm waist deep in balls. And I get a little, the little grumble. You know what I'm talking about? Like I get the little bubbles in my tummy, And then I'm like, ooh, I got a fart coming. I got a little baby fart coming. And you gotta remember, I'm wearing a cape, so I fart and it's like, and after a minute, those farts are gonna lead to something, and I'm thinking, it's gonna lead to, their usual explosions in the bathroom, not a band. And then I realized, oh, this might be worse. So I get out of the ball pit, and I'm like, oh, this is not, the shrimp did not like eating that soft serve. It was swirl, so it was all kinds of flavors. And so when you're gonna throw up, who do you want in your whole life? You want your mom. Yeah. So I walk into the casino, just me in my little Batman costume, full of gas. And you know what a casino smells like, right? It smells like feet and cheese and broken hearts, you know what I mean? So the moment I walked into the casino, that waft of air hits me, and I'm like, oh God. Oh no, I'm gonna throw up. Now let me tell you guys, it gets a little crazy from here, and it's a true story. So I realize I'm gonna throw up, and I'm like, I can't throw up in front of this expensive stuff. So I find a door, and I book it for the door, and I'm running full speed, my cape's flapping in the wind. And right before I get to the door, I throw up all over the door. And then I throw up on the ground. And I open the door and step over my throw up and throw up outside some more. Shrimp and soft serve. Shrimp and soft serve. You guys, not 10 seconds later, two guys decided to rob the circus.
Yeah!
These two guys grabbed thousands of dollars in cash and just ran.
Good for them.
For that same door. The first robber steps in my throw up and slides into the throw up on the door. The second robber steps in my throw up, slides into the first robber through the door, and they land one on top of each other outside on my throw up. Best part. Right behind them was a cop. Guns out. This cop slides on my vomit on the ground, slides through my vomit on the door, and then lands on top of the two robbers. Like this, just like with his gun out. And then he looks over at me, and there I am. And he just makes eye contact with me, and he goes, "What are you doing, kid?" And I'm brown, he was a cop, so I ran. I just ran, and I never looked back. I've never been back to the circus. You guys, I know this